Yesterday, there was jubilation amongst the West's enemies as Barack Obama announced his deal with Iran. Syria's dictator Bashar Assad was celebrating. The Iran-funded terrorist group Hezbollah was celebrating. There was celebrating in the streets of Iran. Isn't that funny? Why would they celebrate if they had just been pressured into giving up their nuclear ambitions? Well, that's the thing. They weren't. The deal doesn't stop Iran from acquiring a nuclear bomb. In fact, it formally legalizes it and provides them with a path to do so. It just delays that path by 10 years if the Iranians respect the treaty. But we won't know if they actually do respect the treaty because the inspection provisions are a joke. If the West wants to check to see if Iran is building a bomb now, as opposed to in 10 years from now when they're officially allowed to, when Obama says it's fine, right now the West has to write a letter to Iran, and then a whole process starts that takes 24 days before UN inspectors are allowed to visit a site. Imagine if your local health inspectors took that approach towards a restaurant. No surprise spot checks allowed, no unannounced visits. Health inspectors have to write to the restaurant in advance and plan their visit in advance, and the restaurant has 24 days notice. And what a joke. And that's my point of view. But obviously Barack Obama thinks it's a great deal and he's a great president and everything's great and this will give him a great legacy. But what does Iran itself think? I mean, besides their celebrating citizens, what does the government think? Well, Iran has an official state news agency called IRNA, the Islamic Republic News Agency. Here's their official summary of the deal. They say they didn't surrender, they triumphed. Here, let me quote. Vital facts on Iran's peaceful nuclear programs had been ignored in an unfair manner to depict the program as a threat to the international peace and security. But it has now turned into a theme for broadening international cooperation with other countries within international standards. So what does that mean? It means that Iran thinks that this treaty has vindicated and approved and normalized their nuclear program. And they're right. It's not rogue anymore. It's not illegal. Obama has agreed to rebrand it, rename it, recharacterize it as peaceful and cooperative. In a way, that's the biggest concession, conceding a lie to be true. Here, let me read a couple more points, again, from their official state news agency. Here's the next one. All nuclear installations and sites are to continue their work contrary to the early demands of the other party. None of them will be dismantled. The policy on preventing enrichment uranium has now failed, and Iran will go ahead with its enrichment program. Iran's nuclear infrastructure will remain intact. No centrifuges will be dismantled, and research and development on key and advanced centrifuges such as IR4, IR5, IR6, IR8 will continue. So what does that mean? It means nothing's going to shut down. All work will continue. Nothing will be dismantled. Enrichment will continue, enrichment of uranium. This is what Iran's official position is. They're not stopping anything. Obama agreed to this. Obama is Iran's lawyer to the United States, spinning this, advocating for this. But this is what Iran actually believes, and they will do this, and they'll continue. Oh, and they're going to upgrade one of their reactors too. Let me read the next point. Iraq heavy water reactor will continue its work and remain intact to be modernized and equipped with latest technology, new laboratories and new installations, and through cooperation with the owners of most sophisticated and most secure technologies in the world, early demands for dismantling or changing it to a light water reactor is void. And any weapons import restrictions are going to be lifted on Iran too. Here, let me read the next point. Iran's arms embargo to be lifted or to be replaced with some restrictions in a way grounds for imports or exports of defense-related items to be possible per case. These restrictions will be completely removed after 5 years. I know this language is funny, but this is the official Iranian translation. So this is the big peace treaty, is it? A peace treaty that actually allows Iran to get more weapons. Can that really even be called a peace treaty? Now, of course, there are some technologies, as you know, that can be used for both peaceful and weapons programs, and in this case for nuclear weapons. They're called dual-use technologies, and Obama agreed that Iran can now have those, and that Iranians can study whatever nuclear science they want to around the world, no limits. Here, let me quote the Iranian version. Ban on procurement of sensitive dual-purpose items to be lifted, and Iran's requirements to be facilitated and removed through referral to Iran G5+1 Joint Commission. Ban on Iranian students studying in nuclear-related fields will be fully removed. And of course, Obama will pay billions of dollars to Iran for the privilege of signing this treaty. Let me quote, Tens of billions of dollars of Iran's revenues, which had been frozen over the past several years due to unfair sanctions overseas, will be available. In fact, the dollar amount is closer to $150 billion. So that's what Iran says it's signed. That's what they're going to do. That's what they're saying even before the U.S. Congress ratifies this treaty. That's how brazen they are today. That's how confident they are that their Manchurian candidate in the White House will give them this deal no matter what, no matter how. Obama is so desperate for a legacy deal, he'll do whatever it takes. The Iranians know this. They've been negotiating with him for years. They know they can get whatever they ask for from him and have massive Death to America protests at the same time and hang gays and stone women and kill democracy activists at the same time. And there is literally nothing Obama won't agree to. That's the peace treaty that Obama has just signed for his clients. Iran actually had an advocate on each side of the negotiating table, didn't they? Look, this isn't a peace treaty. It's a starter pistol for the next war. The only question is, will that war be a conventional war now before Iran gets the bomb? Or will it be in 5 or 10 years after Iran has a nuclear bomb? For TheRebel.media, I'm Ezra Levant.